Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Big Pop, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be pairing an Alolan Marowak, which is Shadow, a Noctowl, and a Pelipper in the Great League on Pokemon Go. I had some great success with this team, some challenges, and overall I had a great time. So without further delay, let's jump into these battles. Jumping straight into the first match, we have Noctowl matched up against a Lapras. This isn't the greatest matchup for Noctowl. These Ice Shards are doing super effective damage, where our Sky Attacks are only doing neutral. We will get to the Sky Attacks very quickly using the new buffed Wing Attack, and the first Sky Attack does get a shield. That's huge. In comes the first Surf, we should be able to take it. Yep, we take the Surf. We'll keep farming up with these Wing Attacks, get to a second Sky Attack. Hopefully this will be doing a shield, or doing a nice amount of damage. In comes the second Sky Attack, does a nice chunk of damage. We will let the Noctowl go down here. There's no point shielding up, seeing as they'll just farm down after that with Ice Shard. So we'll come in with Alolan Marowak and we'll farm down using these neutral fire spins. We will have to shield the first Surf. Obviously we're a fire type and we're Shadow, but that's okay. We'll keep farming down and come out of this matchup with a huge amount of energy. We're almost at 2 Shadow Bones, and if it was anything other than a Scrafty, or perhaps an Umbreon, that would have been great, but unfortunately they have that Dark typing, so they're able to take all these charge moves quite well. We'll keep just throwing out these Bone Clubs to do some neutral damage and hopefully chip away until it's a bit low, and then we'll switch into Pelipper, doing super effective with our flying type moves. In comes hopefully a Power Up Punch, but unfortunately it's the Foul Play, so we'll keep farming up and get to a Weather Ball and hopefully spam out these Weather Balls. Getting shields are doing huge damage. We do some big damage there, one more Wing Attack. In comes Leaveney. We keep farming up with these Wing Attacks, doing super effective against their grass. We throw a not very effective Weather Ball. Does a nice chunk of damage. We go down. In comes Alolan Marowak, and we have this game in the bag. So good game to this trainer. The Shadow Bone will come in, do plenty of damage, and we'll take the win. Moving on to the next match, we'll have Noctowl leading the whole time in these matches. In comes a Medicham, so this is a great matchup for Noctowl. Obviously all of our charge moves are doing super effective, as well as the fast move. In comes an Umbreon, we farm up to a Sky Attack, make a quick switch. We absorb the Foul Play, and we'll just spam out these Weather Balls, hopefully getting shields and doing some great damage. The Umbreon, unfortunately, is a very tanky, spammy beast, doing neutral damage in this matchup, but there's not much else we can do. So we'll take this Foul Play number 2. In comes Foul Play, does a nice chunk of damage. We get to another Weather Ball, spamming out these Weather Balls like nothing else. In comes Weather Ball number 2. And we keep farming. We will be able to get to a third Weather Ball, so we will shield up here, seeing as we're halfway to one. We throw the third Weather Ball. It should be doing a nice chunk of damage, or taking the Umbreon down deep into the red. Yep, deep down into the red. We make a quick switch back into Noctowl. In comes another Foul Play. This will be doing a nice chunk of damage, but luckily Noctowls are very tanky as well. In comes a Walrein, which isn't good news for Noctowl, but we can spam out these Sky Attacks at a pace of knots, doing nice damage. We will have to shield this if we want to survive, but we'll let the Noctowl go down. Just like last game, we'll come in with Alolan Marowak and farm down the Water/Ice type and come out of this matchup with a huge amount of energy. All we need to do is correctly shield the Earthquake. We shield the Earthquake, we keep farming down, and we come out of this matchup with lots of energy. What's the other Pokemon going to be? It's a Medicham coming back in. We'll throw a Bone Club, hopefully baiting for the shield. We'll get the shield, we'll keep farming, we'll throw another Bone Club, they make a quick switch into Umbreon. Luckily we didn't throw the Shadow Bone, that would have been a big waste of energy. Down goes the Umbreon, back comes in Medicham, we throw the Shadow Bone. This should be doing huge super effective damage, maybe getting a debuff. No debuff, but does huge damage. We switch back into Pelipper, and we Wing Tack down. Good game to that trainer. Marowak was definitely the MVP, just like in last game. Being able to farm down with his neutral Fire Spin, doing such big damage being a Shadow, and then coming out with huge amounts of energy. In comes Noctowl into another Medicham. So our Wing Attack is doing great damage here, and we get to the Sky Attack so quickly. They switch into a G-Stunfisk, so we automatically switch into our Alolan Marowak. These Shadow Fire Spins should be doing some huge damage to their Steel typing. We just need to correctly shield the Earthquake and spam out these Bone Clubs. So in comes Bone Club number 1, gets the shield. We'll keep farming up with these Fire Spins. They're doing an extra 20% damage being a Shadow. In comes Bone Club number 2. It should be doing big damage, or a shield does big damage. We're anticipating the Rock Slide here, but unfortunately they just full send it and go for the Earthquake, so we go down. Back comes in Noctowl. We keep farming up to 2 Sky Attacks. We throw Sky Attack number 1. This should be doing some good damage. In comes Sky Attack number 1. Actually gets a shield, which is huge. So they must have been anticipating the Shadow Ball, but luckily we only threw the Sky Attack, which is more energy efficient. In comes an Azumarill.
I realise now that I should have just been throwing Sky Attacks continuously in this matchup instead of the Shadow Ball. It's more energy efficient. But we should throw the Shadow Ball, we get to another Sky Attack, in comes Sky Attack. This should be doing a nice chunk of damage. Azumarill is in a very low amount of health now. We're anticipating the Ice Beam or Play Rough. In comes Play Rough, we shield that up so we can survive. We should get to another Sky Attack, but we make a quick switch into Pelipper, hopefully to absorb an Ice Beam or a Hydro Pump. We'll see what it is. In comes the Play Rough, unfortunately, does maybe just about half. We keep farming down with these Wing Attacks. In comes Weather Ball. This will be taking out the Azumarill. Down goes the Azumarill. And in comes the Alolan Stunfisk. We get to another Weather Ball. Down goes the Stunfisk. In comes the Weather Ball. And finally, in comes the Medicham again. So long as this isn't an Ice Punch or a Psychic, we should be able to farm to the Hurricane and full send it and send this Medicham to the Shadow Realm. We get to the Hurricane and the Medicham goes to the Shadow Realm. So good game to that trainer. Quite a close one there in the end. But the strat of double flyer with Marowak to farm down Steel types is working quite well. So moving into the next match, we will have Noctowl matched up against a Ferroseed. So this Ferroseed will be spamming out these bullet punches. Sorry, not bullet seeds. And we do need to watch out for this Thunder. And I do realize it's Ferrothorn, so I apologize. We throw the first Sky Attack. This will be doing neutral damage because of their Grass Steel typing. So in comes the Sky Attack, does a nice chunk of damage. We get to a second Sky Attack, in comes the Sky Attack again. This will be getting it low into the red unless they shield. We do get the shield. We keep farming out the Wing Attacks. We do need to watch out for a second Thunder, but I don't think we want to give up 2 shields just yet. So we see how Noctowl can take a Thunder, and it takes it like an absolute champ. Bit of a Rocky Balboa, you could say. In comes the third Sky Attack. Sky Attack takes out the Ferrothorn. In comes Altaria, and we keep farming up, and we make a quick switch, saving Noctowl for later. Yep, Altaria is going to hopefully throw the Sky Attack, but in comes the Moonblast, pretty much eliminating our Pelipper. We're pretty much at 2 Weather Balls, so we get off the first Weather Ball. Hopefully those Dragon Breath damages don't... Oh, and we get to the second one, but we're not quite able to throw, so we switch into Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak comes in, we're fire spinning up, we're anticipating a Sky Attack here. They wouldn't throw a Moonblast against the Ghost type. In comes Sky Attack, there's a nice chunk of damage. They make a quick switch into Defense Form Deoxys. In comes the Shadow Bone, does huge damage against that tanky beast. We keep farming up, we're at 1 Shadow Bone, we're going to shield the Psycho Boost, or the Rock Slide, or Lightning Bolt. We're going to keep farming up, we're going to make a quick switch into Noctowl, we catch the move. That's our win con. We need to catch the move onto Noctowl, take the Psycho Blast, farm down the Deoxys, and be at 2 Shadow Bones to take out the Altaria. We throw the first Shadow Bone, this will be getting it low, and all we need to do is throw the second Shadow Bone before they get to another Sky Attack or Moonblast, and we take the win. So again, Alolan Marowak in the Shadow form is really the MVP of this team. Noctowl and Pelipper get shields, and they're very tanky, except for Pelipper, obviously. And then Alolan Marowak is really taking advantage of the farm. So that is good. Moving into the next matchup, we have Noctowl coming into Abomasnow. So this is a bit of a neutral matchup. Obviously our Wing Attacks are doing some nice super effective damage, but their Powdered Snows are doing equal super effective damage. They're slightly more tanky, getting to these Weather Balls, the Ice type Weather Ball, but we do get to the Sky Attack, so this should be doing some nice damage to the Abomasnow. In comes the Sky Attack, gets the shield. We're going to keep farming. We're not going to commit another shield with the fear of being farmed down by the Powdered Snows. We'll just switch into Alolan Marowak, and you already know how it is. We're just going to farm down, come out of this matchup with a huge amount of energy, and see what comes in next. In comes the Ice type move, not very effective, and in comes a Bastiodon. So these Bone Clubs are doing 4 times super effective damage against that Steel and Rock type. Bone Club number 1 comes in comes Bone Club number 2. We're taking these smackdowns quite well for a Shadow Fire type. In comes Bone Club number 2. We'll keep farming, work a quick switch, save Alolan Marowak for later, maybe for a swap or a catch. In comes the Stone Edge, we need to correctly shield that, and in comes Toxicroak. So these Weather Balls will be doing some great damage against Toxicroak, and then these Wing Attacks are really adding up against their fighting type. In comes Weather Ball number 2, we're just too spammy, and their Mud Bomb would do next to no damage to the Pelipper. In comes Weather Ball number 2, we sneak through a Wing Attack, and we're going to correctly shield the Sludge Bomb. It's only a Mud Bomb, so we get baited, but we're able to farm down anyway. And in comes Bastiodon, all we need to do now is get to a Weather Ball, and that should be the end of the Bastiodon, turning it back into a fossil, you could say. Down goes the Bastiodon, and good game to that trainer. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. If you like my content, consider leaving me a like and subscribing, and I'll catch you next time for another Pokemon Go video. Thank you.